Hey everybody, this is Matthew from North 40 Fly Shop, Lewiston, Idaho. Taking the time to sit down and share one of my all-time favorite steelhead flies with you. This one is the Max Canyon. It's a fairly good fly. It's a skunk pattern, so it can translate to greenbutt skunk, purple peril, a lot of other flies. This one, however, is absolutely probably my top steelhead fly I like fishing. It's a fairly easy tie. This one I'm doing a size 4 Gamakatsu. It's a T10 6H, so it's a little heavier, stouter fly. My rib, along with the tail section, is a gold and silver mylar, silver side up. My body material will be Angora goat, black and orange. Before that, I'll use saddle hackle for the tail, white and orange. I do orange first, white underneath. And a black saddle for the front of the fly, the collar actually. And the wing is a 2-stage, white and orange. I tie orange first along with the white. So we're going to start by bringing the thread back to the tag end, like you're tying any other fly. Yeah, this is a really productive fly, probably one of my favorites to fish. Here locally I've done incredibly well with it steelhead fishing. So you want to bring, so you always squish your barb down, but you start your tag right about where the barb would be, or if you want to squish it after, you can definitely do that. Completely preference, but if you squish it before and you break your hook, you're not out all your materials, so that's nice, or you don't have to rebuild it. And any of the mylar is the two-tone gold and silver. You always do your tying side up, and then when you flip it over, it's the color that actually you're looking for. Then we'll bring the tinsel to the point of the hook. And you'll tie it off. 3 wraps is really sufficient to secure pretty much anything down. Some materials out there might take a little more. You always want to make sure you stop right at your point. Oh, where'd my feathers go? So the Max Canyon has 2 saddle hackle feathers that you use for the tail, a white and an orange. You can tie them on individually or just build the bundle and tie them on together. You'll put the orange on the base and then the white on top of it, but it is preference. You can change it up if you want. The fish don't really mind all that much. You want to make sure they're resting directly on top of your hook, just like that. Now you'll make sure you want to cut off a chunk for your rib. And we want silver side showing, so we'll start with silver facing the hook. Now we'll start our body. First color we use is orange. Really helps waxen the thread. Helps bind the fibers down. Especially stuff we're using is Angora goat. So the fibers are fairly long. Really kind of a slick material. Then we'll transition to our black. Same material, it's Angora goat. And what this goat does is it's a really webby kind of fiber, so it really gives the fly a lot of movement. One thing you want to do is you want to stop fairly early. You don't want to go too far up to the eye, because once you start crowding it, it definitely affects the fly. Then we attach our rib and go forward. Anywhere 5 to 7 wraps is really all you need. Any more than that, you can definitely make it a tinsel body if you wanted to, but doesn't make that much of a difference. Always fold it back, locks the rib in. Then I go back and try and dub some of this out. Like I was talking about, I really like a larger, kind of bigger body fly for some of these, especially when the temperature gets cold. It has a larger profile. Then you want to add your collar, which is our black saddle. And I strip one side of it. What that does, it makes it smaller. You don't have quite as much material on it, and what that'll do is, if you're using the sink tip, it won't float as much. A lot of times when you overdress the fly, it'll actually prevent it from sinking. And you'll also work towards the eye of the hook. And I do 4 to 5 wraps, depending on the profile I'm looking. That's what's nice about tying, is you can kind of change it up as you go. If you want a little buggier fly, more body, you can change it up. Same fly you could tie with like a silk body and give it almost like a summer run look to it. Warmer water. And next we use our wing. This fly, you can use crystal flash underwing. This one I'm not tying with the flash, but it is preference. And the original recipe does call for it. And just like the tail, you'll start with the orange base. You always want to stack your hair, make sure they're even. Do a couple turns. I never trim it before I tie it down, just because I'm able to grab that and then make sure it's centered, because as you tie it, it's going to want to roll to the opposite side. In the head cement that I use, there's actually a technique where you can fold the wing over, where you tie it forward and then you fold both wings and then tie it down, which is effective. It definitely holds the wing in, but the head cement that I use, it pretty much bonds it to where that really isn't an issue. So that's why I'm able to get away with such a short thread count. I typically do about 4 to 5 wraps and then center the wing. Then I'll gently start applying pressure. You don't want your thread to break. You bring your thread to the eye and start building your thread base. Then you want to chase your thread up to the head. You'll add your whip finish. I always double whip finish my steelhead flies. If you take the time to tie them, you definitely want them to hold up and be durable. Head cement I use is JB Super Weld. I figured if it's meant to welding stuff together, it'll definitely hold a fly together, and it definitely does. Beauties of a rotary vise is you don't have to worry about gluing your fingers closed while you're applying this. You can single coat or you can let it dry and come back and do a second. And that is your Max Canyon. Hope you guys enjoy and definitely get out there and fish. Feel free to look us up, north40flyshop.com, for the latest recipes and fishing reports. Have a good day.